What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another collaboration beer, this time between the WeldWerks Brewing Company, and they are out of Greeley, Colorado, and Hop Butcher for the World, and they are out of Chicago, Illinois, and this is their Weld and Butch. So this is a Hazy Double IPA that comes in at 8.2% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, and this can is just over 6 weeks old. So recently we had a drop of WeldWerks beers here in the Buffalo, New York area, and I picked up 2 of them. I picked up this, which is a collaboration between them and Hop Butcher for the World, and then the other one is a collaboration between them and the Parish Brewing Company. So I'm going to review both of them probably within a couple days of one another. So I grabbed this. Now this has been in my fridge for like 3 weeks. When it showed up, it was pretty fresh, but had so many other beers I had to get to, so kind of got pushed to the back of the fridge. Just over 6 weeks old, should be all right. Now, I did not see much about like the hop bill, but I did find the hop bill at 2 different websites. I don't know if it's correct, but it says it's Elani, Krush and Mosaic hops, and I don't know if I've ever had Elani hops. Krush is the new rage. It used to be what, HBC 586. Now they finally named it. So yeah, we'll see how this one is. I am using the hashtag somewhat proper glassware, not a WeldWerks glass, a Hop Butcher glass, but we're gonna give it a pour and see what we got going on here. And that does not pour out as hazy as I thought. Probably gonna pour all of this in if I can, or most, because this is one of the bigger Hop Butcher glasses that goes right to the rim. So should be all right. And I do like the artwork here. A couple dogs hopping on a train, just pretty awesome, actually. I like the artwork. Anyway, in the hashtag half proper glassware, got the Hop Butcher for the World glass here, and I would say that looks pretty fucking fantastic. It has that deep, dark honey orange color. It doesn't look oxidized. In person, it looks way more orange than you guys are seeing, like a lighter orange, like kind of more like this. Yeah, I'd say that looks more like what I'm seeing. It's not as dark, but it's definitely murky turbid. About 1.5 fingers of a super creamy and just luscious looking head that has some great, what you call it so far, some great glass lacing. But yeah, it looks beautiful. Yeah, it's like a bright white kind of look to it. Let's get a nose. Nice. Definitely berries, Mosaic for sure. Like mixed berry, I'd say. Pineapple, peach, stone fruit-esque, peach, apricot, mango. A little bit of like a pithy orange. I don't know what Elani brings to the table. I should have probably looked up that hop, but yeah, this is just a big emphasis on, to me, Mosaic. It has like that mixed berry, a little bit of dankness to it. And then I get a lot of pineapple, peach, mango, apricot, stone fruits, underlying citrus. It smells like it's going to be sweet. Again, you can't smell sweetness, but the perceived sweetness in the nose smells like it's going to be a sweeter hazy. And if you've been following the channel, more specifically recently with me drinking a lot of West Coast beers, this smells what I would have, like something I would have really enjoyed like 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. It just smells like it might be a little bit too sweet for what I currently enjoy. Hopefully there's a big dryness and or bitterness, and it's a great beer because it smells... The aromatics are fantastic from a fruit standpoint. You know, those hops are really kicking out some awesome fruit in this one. I'm all about balance nowadays. Let's see. Cheers, everyone. Yeah. The flavor profile is really nice. It really is. Don't get me wrong. Man, it's very fruity, like very fruity. So if you're a haze bro who enjoys very fruit forward, whether it's citrus, stone, tropical fruit, and you don't love a lot of bitterness or dryness, this is you all day. Like, it's exactly what it should be for probably the style itself. Because it's fucking delicious. It's just, right now I'm telling you, it's too sweet for me off of those first 2 sips. Body on this one for 8.2%. Like higher side of medium. I think it's appropriate. The mouthfeel has a mild to moderate carbonation, but it's still smooth and creamy on the second half of the palate. Actually, it's kind of creamy everywhere on the palate, but it's smooth on the second half. Good effervescent, kind of spritzy carbonation at the forefront. So bodies and mouthfeel is appropriate and actually quite good. The taste, you know what, the nose carried over almost to a T. This doesn't hit me in stages. It's actually front to back for the most part, especially from the fruit character. Tip of the tongue, it's citrus. It's more like a juicy orange. This is definitely a juicy sweet beer. So juicy orange at the forefront, transitions into like an overripened peach, mango, apricot, and then finishes with that mixed berry, and it's a sweeter mixed berry. It's dank on the finish. That's the one different kind of, I'd say, characteristic in the beer that isn't a fruit, and it's more dank than anything. It finishes semi-dry with a mild bitterness. I think if I would have drank this 2 or 3 years ago, I'd be losing my shit right now, because it's exactly what my old palate used to enjoy. Sweet, fruity, hazy beer that didn't have a big dryness, didn't have a big bitterness. I drink entire can. I wouldn't drink multiples, like it would be too much, but this is a one and done beer back then. Definitely a one and done beer right now. But my palate has grown to the point where I want a dry and or bitter sensation on the finish. If you get both, that's great. I want to balance everything out. I love that sweeter, juicier fruit component at the forefront, but I need something to balance it out. And this doesn't balance it out enough. It's still a very tasty, good beer that I'm gonna give a good score to. It's just, this is like a 4.5, 4.6 beer 2 or 3 years ago to me. It honestly is. That's how, like this, even just over 6 months old, the hop characteristics and the saturation of the hops on this on the palate, it hits. It's so fruity, so juicy, delicious from that standpoint. It's just too unbalanced for me personally. Man, it's a great beer, but one that I'm definitely one and done with, and that I need more of a kind of balance to. Still going to give it a nice score. So Weld and Butch, actually, before I actually score it, another thing that beauty about this beer, it hides the alcohol incredibly well. Slight warming in the chest, nothing on the palate, 8.2%, like that's insane. I just need some, I need something to break up the monotony of all the juicy, sweet, fruity goodness outside of that dankness. I wish there was something else, like an herbaceousness or a grassiness or whatever. It's just like a generic dankness, but it's still a nice beer. So Weld and Butch from WeldWerks and Hop Butcher for the World. I am going to give this a high 4 out of 5. We'll go 4.1 out of 5. Again, if this had some kind of drying and or bitter component that worked for my palate and a little bit more complexity from the non-fruit characteristics in the beer, this would be like at the very least a 4.4 and maybe more in that 4.5, 4.6 realm. The body's fantastic. The mouth feels fantastic. The fruit character is awesome. The hop saturation's there. It's very vibrant. It's just over 6 weeks old. It held up extremely well. It's just a little too unbalanced for what this guy wants nowadays. So 4.1 out of 5, still a really nice score. Just, you know, 2 great breweries and just not right in my wheelhouse. So I could see a lot of people loving this one. I would not be surprised if you disagree with me and love this, though. I really do. Price point availability, I paid $6 for that can. I want to say 4-packs probably at the brewery are probably in the $20 realm, so I don't mind paying an extra $1 a can for it to show up here in New York State. I actually saw a couple different places with $6 a can, so that's kind of the going rate here in the Buffalo, New York area specifically. And availability, I don't know with WeldWerks. Head up their website, see if they have a beer finder. We do get, I don't want to say super frequent drops of their stuff, but I say every 2-3 months, like every quarter, we get a good drop of WeldWerks stuff. And this time around, they had a couple different IPAs, they had a couple different stouts, and I think they had maybe like a lager. But I picked up the 2 IPAs because they were collaborations with breweries I really enjoy. Like Hop Butcher is one of my favorite breweries of all time. Also, not that it matters a whole lot, but look at that glass lacing. Like that glass lacing is absolutely fucking next level. Yeah, man, I just wish, I'll tell you what, if there was a pronounced like dryness or bitterness on this one, this would at the very least be a 4.4. Is what it is. Gotta be honest. Very nice beer, 4.1 out of 5. Could have been a lot better for myself personally. But if you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about this one. I think it's a really nice beer. And I'm glad I picked it up. I just, you know, I shouldn't be surprised because a lot of Hop Butcher beers lean sweet. A lot of that WeldWerks IPAs I've had over the years, they lean sweet. So that's kind of what they're known for. But again, it's a personal preference thing. I just got to be honest. So appreciate it. To the next one. Cheers.